All right, let's take a look at DSMA 6, and this is just visualizing percent. So I wanted you to be able to look at area under the curve, but to teach that, you have to know calculus. So we're not doing that. We're not going to do calculus in this class. So we're going to more just look at areas. So if you look at this pie chart, it's asking you which piece of that pie is about 50% of the total. Whoops, can't seem to find my stylus. Okay, so 50% of the total daily calories. So you can see that the yellow is almost half of the pie, right? So it's about 50%. And so that would be dinner. If I asked you what 25%, so that would be a quarter of the pie, then that would be lunch. That would be the blue. Okay, so here we have looking at fractions. And so we have a wreath of circles here, and there are 8 circles in each wreath. And we want to know which object would represent the fraction 6 over 8. That means that 6 of those circles need to be colored in with the pink. Out of the 8 circles, looks like that would be D. This can be very easy homework for you. All right, so in 2012, there were 40,000 cinema screens in the country. 29% of the total screens in the country are digital 3D screens. So they want to know how many does that entail, 29% of the 40,000. So we could, depending on your calculator, you can straight multiply by the 29%. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Or if you don't have a percent key on your calculator, you can go ahead and change that to a decimal, which would be 0.29. We know how to change back and forth between decimals and percents. So let me grab my calculator. Okay, so let's take a look at this calculator. First, we're going to go ahead and type in the 40,000 and our multiplication sign. And then the percent sign is right above the open parentheses. Okay, so it's right here. It's in yellow, so that means that I have to hit the shift key first. So my shift key is right here. You don't have to hold it down, you just hit it. So hit the shift key and then hit that open parentheses key, and that's, whoops, you have to type the 29 first, sorry. And then you put the parentheses, the shift parentheses, and that's gonna give you the percent key, and the calculator goes ahead and takes care of it. This is a very cheater calculator here. Once I do all that, it looks like 29% of 40,000 would be 11,600. Right, this is a 2-part problem. We've got a furniture company currently produces 9,000 chairs a month. And if production increases 7%, find the increase and the new number of chairs produced each month. So to find the increase, we can either, again, use our Casio and just multiply by 7%. Remember, you're going to hit shift and the opening parentheses down here. That will give you the percent. Or you can go ahead and change that depending on your calculator. You're going to change that to a decimal. Remember, you have to move 2 decimal places, so it would be 0.07. Either way, you're going to get 630. This is the increase. All right, so that's going to go in the first box. But then they want the new number of chairs. New number of chairs. So we're going to take the original 9,000 plus the increase of 630, and that means that our new number of chairs per month is 9,630. All right, this one is actually a decrease. So we start with 633,000 people. That's the population of the state in 2000. By 2007, it has decreased by 0.8%. Okay, so with our Casio, we can just multiply those two together. That gives us 5,064. That's our decrease, but that's not our population in 2007. 7, we would need to subtract 5,064 plus, subtract that from 633,000. And once we put that in our calculator subtracted, we would get the population in 2007. It's 627,936 people. This problem is looking from the other direction. We have ranch dressing, serving size of 2 tablespoons, and we want to look at the percent of total calories from fat. So what we're going to do is put the fat calories on top, the total, because remember, a percent's always a piece out of a total. So total calories on the bottom. That means I would have 12 over 40. Now remember, on this calculator, you can go ahead and you can either divide, or you can hit the fraction key here and put 12 and then arrow key down and put the 40. But when you do that, you're going to get a fraction. So then you have to hit this SD key here above the delete key, and that will change it back to a decimal. So that flip-flops between a fraction and a decimal. So that gives us 0.3, but that's not a percent. That's a decimal. So we've got to move our decimal over, which is why we've been practicing that. And if we move our decimal 2 places to the right, we would get 30%. So we're going to put 30 in here. Okay, this is our sales tax problem. So a jacket costs $375 and the tax rate is 6%. So if we multiply that by 6%, again, you have to change that to a decimal depending on your calculator. We're going to get $22.50. That gives us our sales tax of $22.50, but now we have to add that to the price. So our price was $375 with no cents. We added the tax. That gives us $397.50 is our total price. All right, so we have 6 states, A, B, C, D, E, and F. They gave me their percents, but they want to make a pie chart. So to make a pie chart, remember a circle is 360 degrees around. So we have to know how many degrees each slice of the pie is going to be. So what we're going to do is take 360 degrees times 19% for the first one. And of course I changed my percent to a decimal. That's going to give me 68. We're going to round to a whole number. Then I'm going to take 360 times 0.32 because that's state B. That's going to give me 115 and so on. So all the way down, I took 360 degrees times the percent. So if you have a Casio, you could just use the percent. If you have a different calculator and you don't have a percent key, you will multiply by the decimal, change all the percents to decimals. And now we're going to see which pie chart matches up. So it looks like it's B because we've got 68, 115, 11, 137, 22, and 7.